Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I'm Dr. Lu Jun. Today, I'd like to give a short lecture on behalf of Professor Li Liming. The lecture theme is Evidence-Based Public Policy. Evidence-based policy is currently one of the big ideas in policy circle. What's the meaning of evidence-based policy? I'd like to describe it with a few words. As noted in United Kingdom 1999 Modernizing Government White Paper, policymaking is a continuous learning process, not as a series of one-off initiatives. Policies are forward-looking and shaped by the evidence rather than a response to short-term pressures that tackle cause, not symptoms. Government should integrate and balance a number of factors to inform policymaking, including best available evidence from research, experience, available resources, values and ideology, and political consideration that are specific to each country. The process of policymaking is transparent and honest. Government makes no pretense of basing their decision solely on scientific evidence and can give explicit explanation about what evidence are considered and what are not. Trust can only be generated by openness. Evidence-based policy stands in contrast to opinion-based policy, which relies heavily on either the selective use of evidence, at least the supportive evidence, or on the untested views of individuals or groups, often inspired by ideological standpoints, prejudice, or speculative conjectures. What's the implication of evidence-based policy for public health? Public health as a social engineering related to long-term national and international interests has to be provided as public goods by government. And the public policy provides guidance, regulation, and support, and guarantees the effective supply of public goods. Also, as we all know, policy development is one of the most cost-effective interventions which facilitate the building of environment that protect and promote human health. Even until now, policymakers, at least in China, similarly make health-related decisions intuitively on the basis of empirical evidence, short-term interest, or on other considerations that include crisis, political pressure, current public opinion, and foreign aid orientation. Thus, our common health goal will be doomed to be a dream. Sars Epidemic in 2003 uncovered the defects in the China public health system. The scientificness, pertinence, timeliness, and validity of public health policy need to be improved urgently, especially when we face increasing challenges to public health, eternal theme of limited health resources, the mandate for efficiency and fairness, and the global cry for government openness. Evidence-based practice models are the best way to improve our public health policy quality, including policy relevant to tobacco and alcohol control. As World Health Organization's Director General Jun Lu said, science has not done enough, especially for public health, and there is a gap between today's scientific advance and their application, between what we know and what is actually being done. Policymakers, researchers, and communication systems are basic elements of evidence-based policy practice or the flow from knowledge to action. Being researchers, we should be clear, we are evidence producer. Involving actively in the policy circles does not conflict with the phase of keeping from political contamination. Unfortunately, up to now, much of our emphasis is still on the base of this knowledge pyramid. Basic theoretical and methodological innovations and individual studies, articles, and reports, accompanied with the flourish of evidence-based medicine, synthesis of research knowledge are increasing but still far from enough. Almost none of attention is paid to develop, transfer, and make available message that can be acted on. Current academics environment encourage researchers to publish research in high-impact journals rather than to produce policy-relevant research and disseminate it widely. This is especially actual state in Chinese academic community, as I have experienced. Science should not focus solely on advancing academic knowledge or confine itself to producing drugs, diagnostics, vaccines, and medical devices. The knowledge that intervention works is only half the equation of improved health. That cannot improve people's health without research to find out how to apply them specifically within different health systems, population groups, and diverse political and social contexts. Research is necessary, good research is essential, but to translate knowledge generated by research into evidence-based actions is critical. Stronger emphasis should be placed on translating, synthesizing, and communicating research to inform health policy, health practice, and public opinion. Regarding policymakers, they should change their perspectives and roles to be evidence consumers. Policymakers need to make effort to build an environment of speaking evidence to power, in which everyone are encouraged to lay the evidence on the table, even if they do not support the government's current policy or intentions. The capacity of policymakers to recognize the benefits and identify and use research information is need to be improved urgently. Maybe they need some professional training. This method of leadership development is resultful in China. However, it is far from enough in regard to the evolving extent, strengths, and the strategy for leadership development. In China, policymakers and researchers used to move on separate tracks. It's the time to work more closely together to shape the research agenda and to ensure that research is used to improve health. All have a sense that, like so many other things, getting the evidence into policymaking is slightly easier said than done. However, as long as we take action from now on, we can see such a dynamic progress. The opinion-based policy is being replaced by a more rigorous approach that gathers, critically appraise, and use high-quality research evidence to inform policymaking and professional practice. Slow improvement is better than none. I believe that evidence-based policy, here is not policy-based evidence, which is a phenomenon that misuses scientific evidence to support predetermined decision. It exists for sure, not an imaginary story. Okay, back to my real wish. Evidence-based medicine will step into our daily life unknowingly, just like what the computer and the internet have done. That's all the contents in my presentation. Thank you for your attention.